on the growth continent represents for us an important piece of the dialogue that needs to happen in African businesses.
My main motivation for coming today was because I'm curious about Africa and the African market, so this is part of my fact-finding mission.
I came here just to learn about the entrepreneurship, things that are going on the continent.
I'm studying civil litigation at City University, and there was an opportunity to meet people and network, so I decided to come over today.
I came today because as an LBS graduate, I wanted to stay up to speed with latest developments in Africa and also make some contacts.
The chance to network and to connect with people in the global community who care about Africa and care about what's happening on the continent, that's huge.
Thank you for joining us today at the 18th Annual London Business School Africa Business Summit.
I am thrilled to see so many brilliant, experienced individuals joining the conversation today. And I can't wait to hear from our speakers and learn from your experiences.
So how many companies do you think make $1 billion or more of revenue in Africa today? The number now is actually 438. 40% of these companies are listed and 60% are private. And so for those that are listed, we're able to compare their performance to the global peers. And now we're able to show that companies in Africa grow faster and are more profitable on a local currency basis than the global peers. And that's why you see all this excitement and interest in investing on the continent.
I really enjoyed the keynote speech from Achaleke of McKinsey. Achat glossed over innovation as one of the key trends and how innovation is key to unlocking the opportunities in Africa.
Certainly what has made us successful in South Africa is not what will make us successful in Nigeria. So it's important that we understand the nuances in the different countries.
Many people still think of ESG as altruistic or at worst a cost, and that's not at all the way IFC looks at it. We're not just looking for projects that are technically sound and that have the potential for a nice profit. They have to add value to the country, to the local economy, and they have to be undertaken in an environmentally and socially responsible manner and in a well-governed manner.
Welcome to the second edition of the Axel Awards. So the Axel Award is a startup competition aimed at providing global business perspectives to high potential African entrepreneurs.
The big vision for Jetstream is to serve the 1.6 million African businesses that are already trying to scale through imports and exports with the rest of the world.
Patients that are unable to afford the standard treatment for anaphylaxis, the adrenaline autoinjector. We thought that this was ridiculous and developed the ZB-Pen, which is a reloadable device. So with this, you're able to simply pop out the cartridge, throw it away, and buy a new one instead of having to throw away the entire device on an annual basis.
So iMeter is an affordable smart meter that gives utility and electricity users control over how electricity is used. It saves money and provides multiple payment options. iMeter provides big data management and analysis.
We've listened to all three entrepreneurs. We'll leave the judges to deliberate, and results will be announced during the drinks reception this evening.
We've met a lot of people. We've engaged people from all over the spectrum, which is quite amazing, quite interesting as well.
I've made some very good connections, and I'm also taking away, I think, some decent business ideas that could expand my own business in Africa.
I've met some ladies in banking, and I thought it's been really interesting. We've had some insightful conversations.
Being here in a group full of people who are also optimistic about Africa and African growth is quite cool.
we have developed a program called the OCP School Lab program. And we have 200,000 farmers benefiting from this free program. The private sector has to invest and has to put a lot of efforts and energy to bring the product, the service, the knowledge to the gate of the farmers.
We have an existing investment in Côte d'Ivoire, which is a mango drying facility. Our company buys those mangoes, dries them, and creates a premium food product that is sold, quite frankly, at a hefty price at markets around the world, improving farmers' incomes, certainly also generating jobs in the processing facility.
Start local and go global. Why do we limit ourselves to only being African? We can be global leaders. We should be the ones exporting our products to the rest of the world.
So this is something which people say that imports are cheaper, but I haven't seen this in the steel industry. I feel that local manufacturers are very competitive. Like in Nigeria, for example, steel is cheaper than it is in China today.
The funds that tend to perform the poorest are ones that midway through their investment period change strategy. Okay. And it is a discipline to stay on mandate when you see other opportunities.
You either need to back a business from a very early stage where you have conviction around the sector, or you need to create that business from the scratch. Sometimes you have to start at that small scale because it creates the opportunity to deploy future rounds of capital.
The instant purchase, instant gratification, touch and feel, that will never go away. And being born and raised in Nigeria myself, going to the market, it's in our DNA.
I think what the consumers in our markets in Francophone West Africa want is similar to what the consumers in the UK or the US want. Good quality, and they feel like there's value for money.
There's a lot more interest in homemade goods, There are loads of nice clothing lines that are Nigerians. We also need to bring those guys into the malls. Right now, they can't afford the rentals we're asking for, but we've got to start looking at making concessions for them.
So we opened up an AI center in Ghana. We announced that last year, and that center is opened up this year. So Google has an AI center open up in Accra. And the reason for this is that we want Africa to also be a part of the AI story.
Africa is quickly adopting technologies and innovations. And that's one of the opportunities that we've seen in Africa is things are moving very quickly and people are taking opportunities. We see a lot of entrepreneurship, a lot of things are happening, and we have to follow with the technology. We have to remain relevant and make sure that we can contribute to the development of the countries where we are.
At the Africa CEO Forum, what we did is we brought together some of the key CEOs of Africa, and we said with the trade agreement, the Africa Continental Trade Agreement that's currently getting a lot of attention, like what are the things that we as the private sector, and I'm really talking about like the CEO of Ethiopian Airlines, KQ, like some of the bigger companies, what is it that we can do and what can we commit to as a group to try to also make the change?
And today the main challenge in Africa is the productivity. The productivity is very low. Why is it so low? Because in Africa we use very little fertilizer comparatively to other countries. If you look at China, US, Europe, we are at a consumption rates of 200 kg per hectare, where the African average is around 20. So it's 10 times less than in developed agriculture economy.
Give us a sense of the secret to Rwanda's success.
It's more the journey we've been on, be it on conducting reforms for ease of doing business and attracting foreign investors. 15 years ago, we were ranked 150 in the world. Last year, we were ranked 29th.
What investors really love about Rwanda is that it's a country with strong institutions where they build and work together with government to create something that creates a lot of value for them, but also for Rwanda as a country and the population.
What I felt today, it's been this energy, this excitement around Africa, around the opportunities, acknowledging the challenges, but actually looking at how it's changing, how it's growing. I hope it's been a day of insight for you, a day of inspiration as you go and you shape a future that is African. I feel like it's gone really well because our delegates are happy, our speakers were so engaged and actually showcased their skills so well, and our sponsors have also really shown their commitment to the continent.
The Africa Business Club at LBS has been a wonderful partner for us, and so we're more than happy to be sponsoring the conference. It brings a lot of really leaders, business leaders, and young professionals with interest in Africa.
I would like to thank the African Business Summit and the London Business School for organizing such a big event, and we are very pleased to support the African Business Summit.
I've spoken with lawyers, people with legal background, environmentalists, economists. So it's a great opportunity basically just to connect with these people, connect with talent, speak to them. And it's great to see people that are actually interested in the continent, in Africa, because that's what IFC is all about.
I have learned very interesting things, that the continent is really growing, that there is still opportunities for people willing to take some risks.
I'm just really grateful for what I've learned and the people that I've met, and I can't wait. I'll come back next year.
Each year at this event, the London Business School Africa Club takes the opportunity to highlight an alumni who's doing great work for the continent. This year, we would like to highlight Tukumbo Ishmael. Please come to the stage and put your hands together.
I once again congratulate you for being able to bring so many of us together to deliberate on this and have the impact that we should have. So 3 cheers for the Africa Club. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Thank you, everybody.
And we'd now like to invite the Excel team to present the awards for the 3 startups that you saw competing earlier.
And in 3rd place is Federonics Ugoshuku Ifediora.
The 2nd place, Impulse Biomed.
And as you can probably guess now, Mishiati with Jetstream Africa.
I am excited, I'm elated. There's so much great innovation happening on the continent, and it's really about being a part of something bigger. And in a short amount of time, we've been able to do that, which I think is a testament to the opportunities that are on the continent.